Hello and welcome to the class. Today we're going to work on quite a few sitting postures. We did a lot of standing last week, didn't we? So just to let you know, you will need a couple of blocks, maybe a blanket, a chair and a belt, just to let you know. If you've got those things ready, and then you can start off lying down, closing your eyes. Your feet on the mat. Make sure your head is centered, your shoulders are down away from your ears, arms are rolling out. Just being conscious of letting go of your weight on the earth. Particularly all around the pelvis and tummy area. Make sure that your feet are in a comfortable position for your back to rest, and then letting go in that area. Make sure, of course, that your chin's not lifted. And pay attention to any areas where you feel you can't let go very well. Maybe a little bit of pain, tension. And send your breath to that area. Particularly, see if you can start letting go there. Focus on where there's some sort of blockage, and as you exhale, exhale into any areas of tension. Bring your attention back to the whole of your body, just letting go, allowing the earth to support you, feeling energy from the earth as you inhale, and as you exhale, let it take any tension. Another 4 good breaths, a little bit deeper, a little bit longer on the exhale, letting go. To start to walk the feet in, rolling onto your side, and coming up to sitting with your legs crossed, sitting on a block and having a spare block ready. And make sure your feet are coming forward under your knees a little bit more. Sitting on the block towards the front of the block a little bit more, sitting up straight, and if you're sitting straight you should be able to balance a block on your head somehow, and see if that works for you. Bring the backs of your hands onto your knees and lift your spine, working your tummy as well, Shoulders down, arms heavy and relaxed. Backs of your hands just on your knees. Keep the block well lifted, and then you have to keep still, don't you? And this means that you probably sitting nice and straight. Then get hold of the block and lift it up. Immediately the tummy starts to work a little bit more. Keep the shoulders away from your ears. Breathe. Is the block even? Both arms. Can you bring it back a little bit more and keep the shoulders down? Can you stretch your fingers on the sides of the block and straighten the arms? That really helps straighten the arms, doesn't it? It gets you a long spine. Careful of the chin sometimes wants to come up, as well as the shoulders. And then come down. And we'll do a couple of front salutes. They're coming up now. Things out of the way. And standing in a good Tadasana. Hands in Namaste. This off. Okay. Good strong Tadasana to start with. And breathe in, stretch up and back, breathing out, fingers in line with toes, head down. Breathe in, bring the right foot back, feet down, look up. Retain into plank. Breathing out, knees just forehead down. Breathe in into cobra, out into dog. Breathe in, step forward with the right, between the hands. Breathe out with the left. Breathe in, stretch up and back. Hands into Namaste. Breathe in, stretch up and back. Breathing out, fingers in line with toes, head down. Breathe in, bring the left foot back and lead up. Retain into plank. Breathing out, knees, chest, forehead down. Breathe in into cobra, out into dog. Breathe in, forward left. Breathe out right. Breathe in, stretch up and back. Hands into Namaste. Breathe in, stretch a little bit more up and back. Breathing out, fingers in line with toes, head down. Breathe in, bring the right foot back. Knee down, look up. Retain into plank. Breathing out, knees, chest, forehead down. Smoothly into cobra. Down into dog. Breathe in, step forward right. Breathe out left. Breathe in, stretch up and back. Hands into Namaste. Last one. Breathe in, stretch up and back. Breathing out, fingers in line with toes, head down. Breathe in, bring the left foot back. Knee down, look up. Retain into plank. Breathing out, knees, chest, forehead down. Breathe in into cobra. Down into dog. Breathe in, big step forward left. Breathe out right. Breathe in, stretch up and back. Hands into Namaste. Now, while you get your breath back, sitting in Baddha Konasana, you can sit on a block. Also have another block ready. And again, lifting the spine, lifting the breastbone. And can you put the block on and feel balanced in that? If you need a bit more balance, bring the feet a little bit more forward. So see how you go. That's a really good lift here while you're sitting in this position, and put the block in place. I think you find it's a little bit harder, maybe, in this position, I don't know. Just rest the backs of your hands on your legs and sit up. It's harder to lift the chest, isn't it, in this position? But hopefully if the block's still there, you should be in a fairly good sitting position. Hold it for a little bit longer. And you stretch your arms up without disturbing it. Of course, tummy's got to work a little bit more. Then again, you can get hold of the block. Stretch up. bring it forward, 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 and walk it along in front of you. And you'll feel a bit more stretch on the legs here, on the thighs. Shoulders away from the ears, just edging a little bit forward, gives you a bit more stretch. Yeah, and forward, forward, forward again. Breathe in and lift up, holding the corners. Bit of work going on here, I think. Back. And, okay, just a couple of leg stretches with a belt now, before we go into more sitting. Let's just, so, lying down. Stretching the left leg out on the mat, stretching the heel away, toes in towards you, and bring the belt around the right ball of the foot. And now move the right hip away from you, so try and get the hips even here as much as you can. Shoulders down, head centered. So the leg should be straight, even if it's further down here. So we're trying to open up the backs of the knees on both legs. So this leg is really doing the same thing as this one. It's just like without the belt, and you're stretching along the mat, of course. But the left leg is working. Okay. You're holding firmly, but not too tightly. Breathe in, breathing out, move the hip away from you. If you want to move the leg a little bit more, if you've got the leg straight up, but keep the hip moving away from you. Keep the shoulders down and even. Ask yourself what's happened to your head. Is it in a good position? Okay, and then we'll change. Bring the legs together, stretch them both out, stretching the heels, bring the toes towards you, keep the right one stuck to the mat there, and bring the belt around the ball of the left foot. Move that left hip away so you haven't shortened there, and so have the leg as straight as you can, even if it's lower. Open out the backs of both knees. Keep shoulders and chin from lifting. Are both the legs feeling stretched? If you have the legs straight up, breathe in, and as you breathe out, move the hip away as you move the leg towards you a little bit if you can. And hold it there. And what's happened to the lower leg? Is it still in place? What are your shoulders and head doing? You're not gripping too hard, because that tension will go up into your shoulders if you do. Relevant. And then bend in and release. And we're just going to go sideways now. So bend the right one in, start off with the leg up and the hip away and everything, then hold the belt with the right hand, place the left hand on your hip, breathe in, breathing out, and turn the leg from the hip socket here, turning out, and bring it over to the side. You can keep your elbow in line with the shoulder here. What's happened to this left leg? And have you rolled over? Well, you've got to be a bit firm with yourself and keep that hip down, that left one, and turning that side. Carefully getting a good stretch, but not, you know, not a pain. You should feel a nice stretch there. and then breathe in and come up and change. So switch the right one out, then the left one straight up first. Keep the right one clasped down. Hold the belt in the left hand now. Place your hand firmly on on your right hip and go over to the side. Yes, it is. Remove that. And how's that going? Are you keeping the opposite hip down? Have you did you turn that the left leg? Out in the socket. Is the elbow in line with the shoulder? And you're getting a nice stretch from there. Keeping this right hip down so you don't roll over. Breathing in and breathing out. Well, and breathing in and coming up. Both feet in the belt. Widen the belt. As much as you can. Make sure you keep the bottom down, tummy down, shoulders down, chin not lifted either. Get a nice wide stretch there. Turning the legs out a little bit as well. Take a couple of breaths. And then bringing the legs in, bending them into your chest, take the belt off, hold around the shins, have a little rock side to side. And then cross your ankles, hold around the sides of the feet. Now keep the chin down and have a little rock. Keep the chin down all the time, and you may rock to sitting with your legs crossed. Sitting up from there, bring your hands behind you. Cross the other way, we did at the start. Arms behind you, so they can help you lift again, straightening the spine, lifting the chest, shoulders down, lifting the crown of the head. Pretend you've got the block there. And stretching the arms up. Lifting as much as you can, but on the shoulders. And down. Now we're going to have a bit of movement. Rocking side to side a bit. Just straighten up. Right, okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to sit on the heels and then just rock side to side, the bottom down. You can use your hands, but if you can do it without using your hands, then this is quite a nice kind of warm up for sitting. Well, it is sitting, but it's not staying there. Sitting with a bit of movement, I think it's quite nice. If it hurts your knees, don't do that. Come back to some comfortable sitting position that we've just done. Cross legs on the soles of the feet together. That'll be quite soothing. That'll be quite nice. How are we doing with that? Are we enjoying ourselves? Okay, so do one more right and left. Coming up to sitting on your heels. Sitting up. So if it's uncomfortable on your knees, if you don't have pain in the knees, come back to some sitting or straight leg sitting. Coming up. Then we're going to do Virasana, so you'll need a block or two. Some people like to have more.
20 minutes.
So it's coming forward. and then we sit in between the the legs, don't we, here? So it's quite good to move the flesh of the calves away, back and out, so we've got somewhere to sit, and then the feet go back. And it's nice with at least one block, but if you're happy without any blocks, that's fine. And you can add more blocks or folded up blankets or anything to bring you higher and higher. It should not hurt your knees, but this can be quite good for the knees. And just pressing the heels of your hands on the outside of the feet here and sitting up, shoulders down, tummy working, lift you, support the back. Can we stretch up from there, interlocking the fingers and stretching up. The arms are nice and straight, fingers tucked in, breathing. Down and changing the interlock, and breathe in, breathing out, stretch up, hold, breathe. We should be sitting comfortably. Stretch on the arms as well, the fingers all tucked in, and then bring the arms down. See if you can come a little bit forward with comfort. You can use a block, it's quite nice, and look across over the block and just a little bit ahead of you to the ground there, and then walking back. Carefully coming up, weight on your arms, always to come up, move that block out of the way, and come and stand up in Tadasana, and have a stretch of the legs there, that's nice, hands in Namaste, and then good Tadasana, straight ahead, imagine a wonderful horizon, straight ahead of you. We're going to just get our legs up for a couple of minutes in any inversion you want to do. If you just want to bring your legs up, use a chair or the wall. And bring your legs up and release from there. So if you do a headstand or a shoulder stand, you could do now if you wish, or just this one, Viparita Karani. The legs straight up. With support, of course, if you're doing this one. And so nice and heavy around the hips. Upper body is nice and relaxed, just the legs working, and feel any tension just releasing down through the legs. It's very nice. So just breathing in, breathing out, letting go of the hips and the upper body. Getting a nice stretch. It's always good to get up the other way, isn't it? Come out and go a bit wider. A bit of support here if you've got a chair. Do that even if you're in headstand or shoulder stand. as you exhale, maybe you might go a little bit wider. Just letting go a little bit more in the sacrum, tummy is down. And then coming back to legs together. Stretch the heels away, bring your toes towards you. So a little bit we'll work on the legs, you can release the arms. And if you're on the chair, you can bring your calves on a chair and let go, that's very nice. Or against the wall, well, wherever you are actually. You can bring the, wherever you are, you can bring the soles of the feet together again. And then just rolling to the side and coming up. And we're going to do a little bit of work on Melasana, the garland posture. So you need to sit right on the edge of your chair. Bring the legs apart, feet apart, and bend through the chair and hold the legs of the chair and bring the chin in. And if you want to work a bit harder and you've got something else to grab onto the chair, I've got these side pieces to hold on to. So just bringing the hands further away from you, and then bring the feet in a bit, and just releasing down then. A couple of breaths. Bring your arms forward, forward, forward. And extend a little bit more, shoulders down. And a nice stretch there. The ears should be in line with your arms. Able to go back and have another go at bringing the hands back a bit more. You do need to be quite on the edge. And then start to bring your hands down again. And can you come up with a straight back? So walk the hands forward. Hands on your thighs and breathe in and come up from there. Then we're going to need a block. You'll need another one shortly. So we're going to have our heels on the block, heels together. Be in Tadasana, feeling nice and tall. Namaste at the moment. And then we're just going to go from there down into a squat. So keeping your feet and legs together. And down into a squat, under control. And bring the arms forward. You can bring your knees apart a little bit. And just bring the arms forward here. Breathing in, breathing out. Tummy in, shoulders relaxed. Maybe you can bring your knees together, bring your hands down. And look up a little bit. Extending your spine a little bit. Holding it there. Okay, and then we'll see if we can do a little bit more of the posture. So coming in here, in between the knees, feet together, and the idea is to try and hold the ankles underneath. Now if that's difficult, you can use two blocks and actually sit on the blocks. So this one on top, or you can have a little bit more here, folded blanket as well. And then you can actually, from here, sit on the blocks from Tadasana. And it's a lot easier. And then bring the knees apart, and I'm going to bring your hands to the back to the ankles. So there, you can always bring your feet a little bit further apart and turned out. That's fine. It is done on sitting on the mat, but I think that's quite hard. Feet a little bit closer. So see what suits you. And then come a little bit forward, let the arms go. After a breath, releasing, and then you might get down a little bit more and hold around the ankles a little bit more. Holding it there, letting go. And then breathe in to come up. You can come down to one block and into Dandasana. Get a nice leg stretch from there. So I'm just going to relax here. And you could get about, so you can sit on the block if you want to. See what suits you best. But you need to bring the flesh of your bottom back and up the way, don't you? And use a bow around the balls of the feet and sit up nicely from there. Really lifting the spine. Oh, it's quite nice after doing the bent knee stuff, isn't it? Elbows out a little bit, and then you can really open and lift the chest. So the legs nice and stretched, back lifting. And why don't we try a block here? See if that works. See if you're sitting straight, and then of course you've got to get hold of the belt from there, haven't you? Sit up there. Stay there for a couple of breaths. Shoulders down, lift the breastbone, tummy working. And let go of the belt, but keep the legs in place. Stretch the arms up. Can you grip the block in your lower arms and take it with you as you go up? If it's not centred, it won't come off the back of the head. See how you go with that. And then release, take the block off. And let's go into a wide leg again. I'm just going to go to the back here. Do Vista Asana. So again from Dandasana, bringing the legs out. Keep a little bit forward here, because if you're back here, it's never all going to work. So keep a little bit forward, and on your sitting bones. Now have a feel there. You should feel each sitting bone is on the mat and the flesh is behind you, and then you can start to work the legs. You could use the belt. So, nice as well. Hands and sitting up. My belt's a bit short for this, so I think I'd rather sit up. See how you go with that. That keeps you nice and stretched. You can bring the arms behind you, and you can sit up well from there, can't you? So we need to have a few ways we can sit on the floor I'm talking about, so we can keep up that for safety. from there. Forward. Back to Dandasana. And you go into full bend here. So stretch it up, breathing in, breathing out. Suck the tummy back and stretch. And wherever your hands go, you can reach the sides of your feet. That's good. If not, hold where you can hold. And just look forward along your mat here. Bring the elbows out. Now lengthen through from the tummy to the chest here. Chest open. And then lift the elbows and drop down. The tummy is back. It goes down. And if you can reach a bit more with the hands and do so, perhaps you can use the belt to help you a little bit. If you can't reach around the feet particularly, lifting the rib cage and going forward from there. Take a couple of breaths. Are the legs straight? The legs should be in contact with the mat. Lift the spine, look up and breathing and come up. So we're just going to do a just other twist. So I'm going to lie down with the knees into your chair. And the arms out, the backs of your hands. Like that. And move your hips a little bit to the left, and then start to bring your knees towards your right armpit, keeping the left side down, so that left shoulder and arm are down. And then you might want to try and straighten the legs a little bit. Breathe.
"15 minutes.
And bend the knees in. Okay. Hold it there. And then breathing out, bend the knees a little bit more. Keep the left shoulder and arm down. Bring the knees over. Move that hips a little bit more to the left. And then go over. Then see if you can straighten the legs at all. Trying to keep the other side down. Obviously the legs aren't going to be even here. Couple of breaths. And then bend the knees in and come back to centre. Just hold around the shins. A little wiggle side to side, keep the chin down. And then get ready for Shavasana. Lying down, make sure you're warm enough. And, you're not under by any light, or have some over your eyes. Make sure you're lying comfortably on your mat. Make sure your chin is down. And walk your shoulders down, away from your ears. Make sure you're lying evenly. Let the arms roll out. Legs a little bit apart, legs roll out. And you might want to have a little movement down with your bottom so that your back is comfortable. So have a little wiggle around now and then release. And just letting go. Softening your feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs. Releasing your hips, pelvis, tummy, ribs, chest. Relax your shoulders, arms, hands, fingers, right through to the ends of your fingers. Your palms becoming softer and softer. Release your mouth and your jaw. Your tongue, the root of your tongue and your throat. Your throat becoming soft and open. Release your facial muscles, letting go of any expression. Feel your face becoming smooth, soft, letting go. Your eyes very softly closed. With soft, smooth eyelids. Eyes becoming softer and softer, sinking down and down, looking into your heart center. Releasing in the corners of your eyes, bridge of your nose, all around your forehead, your hairline, your ears. Resting your brain, the back of your head. If any thoughts occur, just don't get involved with them at all. Focus on the peace and silence in your heart. start to bring your attention back into your body now. Move your hands at your feet a little bit. Place one foot on the mat, the other foot on the mat. Bend your knees into your chest. Roll to the right side. In the fetus position. Just hold it there for a couple of breaths. Then push your hand to come up. And sit in your block again with your legs crossed. Lifting your spine. And today's little story is about being firm. If you come to a fork in the road, take it. I was struck by an unusual ad in the classified section of the local newspaper. Dodge truck for sale, $5,000, firm or best offer. Was the price firm, or was the seller willing to negotiate? Apparently, he couldn't make up his mind. Life will support us in our decisions, but we have to make decisions around which the universe can gather. Often it's better to make a wrong decision than no decision at all. If you make an error, you can either correct it or learn from it. In either case, you will move ahead. If you make no decision, you will likely remain just where you are. A friend of mine had an inspiring sticker on her washing machine. Sin boldly. I loved it. The message, as I understood it, was an advisory to live life with conviction and a whole heart. Be fully whatever you are. If you are in life, then be fully in life. Don't sit around wondering what you might do until it's too late to do anything. Will Rogers said, "You might be on the right track, but if you are sitting on it, you are going to get run over." Live by choice, not self-protection. Be active rather than reactive. Make a stand for your truth, and your truth will make a stand for you. So your mantra for this week is, my power comes from being what I am. Namaste.